Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Lee, man,
Yes, sir.
we're back.
Oh, yeah.
We're here.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, man, how you been?
Magnificent.
I know you're gonna be magnificent for a whole week,
Oh,
and I know this recording is gonna be past it, but like the trip, man,
Yeah, man.
it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to hear stories from you.
Yeah, man. We're looking forward to it.
Can't wait. But yeah, so today, I had the opportunity this summer to do VBS at our church,
I'm like,
and
you said the opportunity.
I had
Look at
the
that.
opportunity,
Look
man.
at that. That's good. They're setting that up pretty nice, huh?
And so, like the last couple years, we've really been just like I think it's more of like a behind the scenes role.
Behind the scenes.
So it's like check in, making sure everything's like, ready and all that kind of stuff. But this year, and I have to give credit to Candace on this one, because she like we've really been pushing to be more involved.
Yeah.
So she signed up the role of doing a class with the kids.
That's not behind the scenes.
That is not behind the scenes. It's like up in front of the.
That's up in front.
And I have to say, man, the whole week, I mean, I understand now the gravity of like just providing the word of God to the kids in a certain way.
Yeah.
And getting them to
gravity.
I mean, it's just so huge. And like just knowing the kids and being able to interact with the kids, how much they like soak it in when you can give them the right environment to soak it in.
That's good.
So like the way it was set up is like the theme was shine Jesus' light. That was the whole thing through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And different days were different ways of how we could shine Jesus' light. So it was like you started from the darkness. Then you got into maybe not getting along. Then things are good.
Yeah.
People are sad.
Yeah.
And then how can we help people? So that's kind of how the whole thing played out. And it basically went through like the birth of Jesus. Then you gave examples of each, how, if you're sad, happy. The bigger one was when you were sad, because it was like the death of Jesus and the resurrection.
Yeah.
And giving that to kids. But man, I was so amazed at the kids' just knowledge.
Oh, they knew.
Yeah. Like the kids
How do you
group.
think they knew?
Oh, they'll go to the classes on regular like Sundays and
So you don't
stuff
think
like
it's
that.
like innate in us?
Well, I feel like, yeah, I do feel like that's there. And then having people like your mom and dad,
Yeah.
the church, being able to hone that in, it makes it even more like it's just, and they're so excited about it too. They love it.
They love it.
They love it, man. We like the first day was like kind of shy. They're shy.
For you?
No,
Or the
no, no,
kids?
no, not for me. It was for the kids because they're
Okay.
like they don't know. It's They're new. They're going to a different grade level kind of thing. Second day is when you really get to know who the kids are.
Yeah.
The second day is when you really get to know who the kids are.
You got to earn your keep, pal.
And it was humbling.
Well, I always like to ask.
It was really humbling.
I always like to ask this question. Are you all going to be able to come back and do it next year?
Oh, I already asked Candace. I was like, would you do it again? And without a doubt, like me, yes. Without question.
Will the church have you back?
That's
That's when you know whether you did what you're supposed to do or not.
Right. And
they're gonna welcome you back.
What I love about it is they give you the opportunity. They give you the opportunity, and you're gonna get the feedback. But that's the whole point. Like really, the whole point of this is if you don't act on it, we're ambassadors. Like Paul, we're ambassadors of Christ.
Right.
And that means we have to act, like we've got to do things that way. And this is one of the ways you can do it. And being able to experience that and to, like, it's almost like finding purpose in a way.
Yeah.
So it's like, even though you may not have liked certain things that you did, there are certain things you found out that you do like.
What do you mean by that?
Well, say some people want to teach. Some people aren't teachers.
Some people aren't.
But if you don't act on it and try, you're not really going to know.
You're not going to know.
So like me, my role was the storytelling.
I wonder how that happened.
And honestly, like I'm good at storytelling. Now, the trick for me is adjusting
to the age group.
Because we had kindergarten to first grade. They're going into first grade.
Yeah.
So they're so smart, man. Like some of the kids in the class, I was like, wow, like these kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't lack capacity.
They don't at all.
Lack skill.
At all.
You just gotta teach them.
You got to teach them. You got to teach them. And like the storytelling part, kids have they want to play. They want to. It's active. Like it is not, especially at that age. Yeah. They are not going to sit in a chair.
Yeah, the attention span ain't
for even 20 minutes just to hear a story. So it's like you've got to get them active, and you got like. So that alone is like, okay, you've got to be creative.
You got to hit the high points.
Yeah.
Fast.
Exactly. Candace told me that yesterday. She said that yesterday. It's like, you got to hit the point. You did good, but there are certain times where, like, when they get super excited, you got to hit the points fast. You got to hit it fast, and you got to, like, okay.
Drive it home, man. We want to play.
And the storytelling part for me, I loved it. Because I'm able to interact with the kids and ask them questions.
Yeah.
And how they respond. And it's amazing how they respond to the questions.
Yeah.
And my whole experience through that was just the ability to pour into children. Like, that's a huge part of who we are.
Yeah.
As adults.
You know what they said? The other side said, right?
Right.
Give me a child, and I'll change the world.
Right. It's huge. It's so huge.
If the other side is saying that,
yeah, it's pretty important.
You see what you're doing.
Yeah. So it got my wheels going on that and being more of a part in the development of that. Not just like pre-K, but even then.
Yeah.
As the higher levels go. Because they need it. Like, we need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I still need guidance, mentoring, in God's word.
Exposure.
I mean, we're all children of God.
We are.
And we got to, so the reason I brought it up, though, was because you deal with kids, too, right?
Oh, wow.
You've done it. I mean, you're doing it now. Yeah, really.
I do it, yeah.
And, I wanted to get your your thought on like just how you go about mentoring kids in
Like from what capacity? Like you're saying, in
like from
because not to say what I do, but
just guiding
at
them
a
in
church,
life.
at a VBS.
Yeah, that's different. That's
vacation
that's
Bible school.
more specific.
That's very specific.
That's very specific. But like if you're mentoring kids on like just developing them, because entrepreneurship is a huge deal.
But I don't want to say that like shining a light and any type that's what you do.
Right.
So that's like the simplest answer, but it's really being loved, man.
Yeah.
Like the faster that you show the children that you genuinely care,
Yeah.
and you have their best interests at heart, and you have pure intentions.
Yeah.
You being a believer and being the example, being the light, being the salt, witnessing, it just happens.
Right.
So, like, whether you're talking financial literacy, whether you're talking about some of the main topics in the school now is like the social emotional learning, like the bullying, some of that, like the anti-bullying, communication, peer pressure, all the things that some of the kids are dealing with. You speak to those things and you give them tools of how to handle those things.
Yeah.
While all through the process being the example. And showing that, hey, I love you. And then being vulnerable enough.
Yeah. I think vulnerability
when
is
the
a big
time
one.
is right to not act like it's all sunshine and rainbows. It's like you gotta, like we talk about, oh, what's your mountain? It's like, but I've been in the valley.
Yeah. And I like how the VBS content that we did, it went through that. Like it's not always happy.
It's not.
But but through that you gotta understand you're shining the light.
Yeah.
Even though you're gonna go through certain things.
So I did I answer your question? Kind of want to be like, because sometimes
you answered
it seems like it's vague, but it's not.
Well,
I want to be the embodiment of what I stand for, and be able to stand in integrity in that. So then when I go, no matter the circumstance, even if you say like, okay, well, you mentioned the kids, like if you go to the VBS, that's what you're talking about, so that's fine. But if you were compared to if you went to the elementary school classroom, or if you went to the middle school classroom, or how about if you go to the youth detention center?
Youth detention, yeah.
Like I've been to that
level.
crowd.
Yeah.
Like so your approach has to change. But as long as it's underwritten in love.
Right.
You're there for a reason, and that reason will manifest in itself. And we talked about it in other episodes, like some of the sow and reaping type stuff. I might be planting seeds at VBS. At YDC, I might be pulling weeds.
And that's what I wanted you to.
I mean,
there's differences to it. You have to, for each situation, but like you said, the underlying part of it is out of love. Yeah. Like you have to do that.
At VBS, I might be fertilizing.
Right.
At the jail, I might be turning soil over.
Right.
I gotta turn some of this over. This ain't working. This ain't adding up.
Right.
But through that and coming from a place of like, hey man, the only reason why I'm here, is because I want you to win.
Right.
And a lot of people like, we really have to get real what winning is. Because you might think winning is the big house, the nice car. You put your kids in the private best schools. You take the best vacations.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But winning is making it to heaven.
Yeah.
So the faster you get to that, not to say you can't have a nice car, nice house, you can have that. It's a bonus.
Yeah. Don't make it about that.
Don't make it become an idol.
Yeah. Right.
Like if you don't make it to the eternity, and if we're believers, and people come on our path, and we don't change the environment just by our presence of having the Holy Spirit dwell in us, we failed.
Yeah.
I mean,
truly. Yeah.
That's what you're talking about with Paul.
That's what you're talking about.
So who better to say, hey, like, I got these children, and I'm prepping them. I'm preparing them.
Right.
Because the world...
Yeah.
And the earlier they know and the sooner they know.
Well, and that's another level to it, too. Like,
The better off
quicker
they're
you
gonna be.
get, quicker you can get to them.
The more, like, you, in essence, could save them. I mean, not you, Jesus saved, but
right.
From some of the mistakes you've made is the point I'm getting at. Like, they don't necessarily have to go down that road. No judgment, no disrespect from my upbringing. There's some stuff I just didn't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Had I been taught, I'm saying in this state, in this place in my life, I would have made a different decision.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy. Oh, you Monday night quarterback. You look back like, oh, I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have. I want to believe that.
Yeah.
But then if you have it was never taught. I was never exposed to it. That's a free-for-all, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's a free-for-all. Yeah, that's, what is it, Ephesians kind of talks about that. It's like, it talks about not provoking your children to anger, but bring them up in discipline, instruction of the Lord.
That's it, man.
I mean, that's it.
So y'all are already in.
Oh,
The church said you're good.
Well, I don't know if there's a review process.
I think we need to review this. I think we need to review this.
But in whatever capacity that I can serve for kids, I'm going to serve.
You're on now, huh?
Yeah.
That's good, man.
I mean, that's what I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like kids are so important, man.
Yeah, that's good.
They're so important. And when you can pour into them like that, and like you said, we've made mistakes that they don't know. They don't even know.
They don't know.
But it's the vulnerability side, like you were saying. Being vulnerable and just, you know, it's not getting attached to the outcome, but letting them know, like, even when they did make a mistake, I mean, that's where you even show them even more love, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So like the VBS thing, I loved it. I really did. I mean, it was an all day thing. Wow. 5 days. But wow. I mean, honestly, my favorite part of the day was VBS. Like it really was VBS.
That's good. Man.
So
I'm glad that lets you, like, you've had that awareness for yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I've always felt like I'm good at teaching. I'm good at like guiding people and understanding something.
Yeah.
What better place to do it than VBS?
Yeah.
And the whole point.
So now you gotta just see how it intertwines, like, day to day.
Yes. Yeah. Like take it a notch further.
How do you incorporate that into your journey now? Because VBS is like, okay. Now
VBS is like a standard
like
thing.
It's a year away now. So
like there was a point. There was a point like during the week. I'm like, why do we just have VBS right when summer kicks off? Yeah. Like, why is it just that?
Because you hadn't did what you're supposed to do yet.
Right.
You hadn't started what you're able to start yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I was like, well, you need more of that. You really do. Like, whole.
He might have gave it to you to figure out.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how it works.
That's how it works, man. That's how it works.
That's good.
But
That's
yeah.
how I do you.
I like the hat too, man.
Oh, you're gonna put me on blast, man.
I'm putting you on blast.
Blasting me out.
I like the hat.
Oh, well, thank you. Hopefully they like that. I'm usually wearing my. I mean, this is part of my brand too, but I'm not usually wearing my black.
Yeah.
I want to. I don't really want to say what happened, but. But yeah. But I'm glad y'all had that experience.
We did, man. We did.
We'll see if y'all get invited back, man.
I know. I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know.
If you really, because my wife always says like, "How do you think you did speaking?" I was like, "Well, the true test.
know what?
The
Yeah.
true test is gonna be if we're welcome back."
Because I thought about that too. Because each day I would sit there. I was like, okay, did I do enough justice for the story to drive home the point?
Drive home the point.
And I'd sit there with it.
Yeah, I bet you sat there with it.
I sat there with it.
But yeah, no.
But I know you, man. When you
with the
speaking,
it's like the real test is when you. That's what I said. Like I feel good about it, but the real test is, are you gonna be welcome back?
Right.
You know. Mm-hmm. But so the way that ends up working, or the humbling in that is like. And, I've done some speaker trainings and some stuff, and there's been some very good ones. But one of the biggest lessons or takeaways is like, once you make it about your audience, whoever that is, and not about yourself, that's how you win. So.
That's on every level.
Yeah. So if you're in there, I mean, you're speaking to the kids or you're speaking to corporate, like, it's about them.
Yeah, it's not about you.
So when they invite you back, it's like, okay, well, you did what they needed you to do.
Right.
I mean, one place comes to mind, like the school I'm working with. It's, I went and speak. I thought that was all it was going to be. I was going to go speak and leave. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's your check. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I mean, so to speak, like.
Yeah. Well,
that's not my heart. That's not my heart, but that's what the arrangement was.
But there was no attachment. They pulled me aside
and said, "Hey, there's no way you can be one and done."
Right.
So that's like, obviously, like I did something good or well. And it's showing that I truly care and I want the kids to be magnificent.
Yeah. That underlying theme of love right there.
Yep.
That's what it is.
So I'm glad you got to experience it, man.
I did, man.
Now it's time to take it to another level.
Another level?
Yes, sir.
Crank it up a notch.
So, like to finish out, man, wrap out this one. If you had to say, like in a recap nutshell, circumstance, the main takeaway for you personally.
For me personally, pour in the kids. Like you have a story, pour into kids with your story to allow them to like see Christ in a certain way, in their way, and just allow them to grow in that. I think that's the biggest thing for me that I could take away from that.
That's good.
Like your testimony is important because they are going to have a testimony.
Now, when I asked you that, how did you feel?
Really good.
Did something shift in your feeling? Not saying that you haven't been feeling good, but when I asked you like that, I saw a shift. People might need to watch the YouTube.
It's really
just a slight, but I know you a lot very well, so it's like
it's a responsibility. Yeah, it's a big responsibility.
Like, it's like, you said that, but it's like, man,
it's huge.
Like it's kind of like it's on you, man.
Even when we first started to like even think about it, though, like it's a huge responsibility. Like you cannot take it lightly when it comes to leading people to Christ. Period.
That's good, man. I see it, man. So now we gotta stay tuned to
That's right, man.
what comes next.
That's right.
Well, I'm happy for you, man. Well done.
I feel magnificent about it, man. Magnificent.
Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.